Hey, what's up guys? So today we're going to be playing with some fire. I got a couple things that I want to test out. First, I have this tree-free fire, right? So basically it's a non-wood related fire starting system. I'm basically going to build a fire around this. We'll light this first and just kind of put some twigs and kindling and stuff like that. See if we can get it caught. Essentially this looks like basically a candle with maybe some kind of a burlap or I don't know, some kind of material here that work as the wicks. And there's no actual wick in there, it's just a cut. So a cut in that material obviously leaves a little piece sticking up, so we're going to light all four of those and get this thing going. And then we're going to try to build a fire around it. The other thing I want to try out today is from Temu. This was like $1.50 or something like that. And this basically works like a bellow. This blows air out the end, and believe it or not, it takes no effort to really get a wind going. So I have no doubt that this is going to work fine. This is in 3 pieces. This little arm was hanging out in the package, and then this. I don't know the purpose of the metal extension. I don't know. I guess because maybe it can get hot, it doesn't melt like the plastic. Who knows? Anyway, that does in fact generate quite a bit of wind. So I'm assuming this is going to help. This you'd want to stick obviously in your embers, get a lot higher, maybe blow to flame if you needed to. So you don't have to sit there and try to blow with your mouth, which takes forever, and you get winded and it's not as effective. So we'll try that later. Today it happens to be a little bit warmer and everything is soaking wet. It's been raining for probably 30 or 40 hours. I'm just grabbing kindling that was on the ground. This is all dead stuff that fell off the trees. All right. But this stuff is all soaking wet. All right, so it's going to take a little bit for sure to get this stuff going. So let me just prep some of this. Like I said, after I get that thing lit, we'll try to let this wood dry out a little bit and see if we can work with it to get a fire going. Now, in order for me to consider this a fire, it's got to have some kind of flame for like a minute. You know what I mean? Because obviously, you know, we can get maybe little bits lit up here and there, but it's got to seem like it could go somewhere. I'm not trying to make a big fire here. I'm just testing this stuff out. But I want to know that it could have been a fire. Does that make sense? All right, so let's go ahead and light this guy up here. All right. So I just have my little lighter. And I'm actually going to let's poke these things upward. Try to get these pieces lit here. It doesn't take all that much to actually get it started. Again, this looks like a lot of waxed material. All right, I do want all 4 of these though cooking pretty good. All right. So again, I don't know what kind of proprietary fuel might be in there, but that's how they advertise this, is you just light the thing, you let it go, and you build your fire around it. All right, so we'll see. And then once the fire is substantial, you're able to pull this guy out, blow it out, and reuse it a bunch of times. It's a cool concept, I guess, if it works. So we'll see if it works. Obviously, if you have nice dry wood, it'd probably work very well. The concept's there. But I want to try it today with all this wet wood. Now, I don't have a whole lot of working surface here since I'm working on a rock. Ideally, this would be on the ground. Even with the ground, you'd build up, you know, TP style, so that once you do have a substantial fire, you can pull this out without really interrupting your fire that much. I guess that's the idea anyway. All right, so I'm trying to start off with some of this thicker stuff to start drying it out, but then obviously the smaller stuff should really get cooking. All right, let's try, that's no good. There's some of this stuff here. This is also, I mean, again, this is stuff that's dead off the trees, falling in the storm. So dead wood that's been laying on the ground, being rained on, soaking wet for like 30 hours or so. 30 hours plus. First there was snow. All the snow melted, and then it turned into just raining. Freezing rain, then regular rain. So you could hear the little hissing. So this, the wood is, you know, obviously some of it's starting to catch on fire there. You can see the flame's a lot bigger than when it was with just the wicks burning. So, alright. Some of this little tiny stuff as well. Put that on top. And yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to let it roll. I don't think I have to keep adding to this because, again, I don't want it to get too big. It's unnecessary. I'm just curious how to get it out from the fire, because, I mean, in this particular situation, it's all, the whole fire is resting on it. You know what I mean? So I can't just easily extract it and then the fire's, you know, continuously going. So, yeah, we'll see how this works out. But clearly, we have a fire. And if I just leave it there burning, I'm sure you could build this fire up to as big as you want. So we got nice flames. Take a little picture of this for the Instagram. Alrighty. Now here, you know, I don't know, I'm talking a lot here, so you might not be able to hear, but there's a constant sizzle because the heat from the fire is just drying out the wood, right? And obviously we see, you know, smoke, but also steam because we have wet wood that's being dried out before it can actually burn. So yeah, that's that. Once this is going a little bit, what I'll do is I'll try to get that out from the fire. We'll put the fire down, and hopefully if the fire goes out a little bit, we're going to try that tool, of course, to blow it back to flame. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how that works out. But this is definitely a fire right now. I just want this wood to be substantially burning before I remove everything. Otherwise it's just going to, you know, smolder out and that'll be it. And there won't be anything to work with to test that out. Like I said, this stuff's pretty darn wet. So it might be hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you this. Change the angle a little bit. But our, you know, tree-free fire, it is a whole layer of wax in there, like a candle. Because of the heat, the whole top layer melted. Again, it's very difficult to see from your angle there, but there's probably, I don't know, a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of just solid wax at this point. All right, so I'm curious, like once this is all done, I take it out. If I want to reuse it, I wonder if the white wax is going to be above the level of those little brown cubes, because obviously to light it, you're just cutting into the cubes and sticking those up like wicks. But if they're not accessible, how do you light it? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm most curious about. I kind of figured this thing would work well initially, but you know, how's it going to work with repetitive usage, excuse me. And this rock is slightly at a tilt downward towards the bottom, so you know what I mean, it's not gonna, the wax is not going to stay even inside that container. So we'll just let this go for a minute. Just nice, peaceful, quiet. I'll shut up here. I know I'm always talking, so just enjoy the fire while it establishes a little bit stronger here. Alright, so let me lift this up just a little. So we definitely have higher flames, and the flames are going all the way up off camera here. So I'll let it burn like this for just a minute, and then we'll try to move it. Alright, so smoke's blowing in my face, so it's time to try to move it here. Alright, this is definitely going to be tricky. Again, I want to move all this out of the way. I'm not exactly sure. Again, how I built this is it's smaller than you would normally do. You wouldn't do it on a rock like I'm doing right now. So there's definitely some different factors here to consider, but just want to make sure some of this stays lit so we can keep moving on here. All right. So let's build this back up over that little bit of flame that we have going. Alright, so let's move this out of the way completely. And I'm going to let that burn for just a minute because I'm trying to get this back to flame, but I don't think there's enough charged stuff there, but we'll see. Actually, I need a smaller little tinder. Actually get that to maybe get back to flame because there's not a whole lot of stuff burnt there as far as material. Should have let this go a little bit longer. I'm just, I don't know, maybe a little impatient just sitting here. So like this top piece right here is pretty charred, and without any, let's see, I don't have any natural tinder around me directly. I'll grab a little bit of these green leaves. That's not going to help too much, but all right. Or pine needles. Yeah, I need some actual tinder, but you could see that it's keeping it hot. It is actually producing plenty of air, which is great. Let's blow that out. Well, actually, you're not supposed to blow it. I'm supposed to put this on top. But before I do, I want to get this stick out of there. There's definitely a big old stick. Oh no, might be part of it now. All right, whatever. I guess that's part of the candle. Try that again. Okay. So just a little bit of air gets that red hot. Just as material is definitely far from dry. So if you had, like, let's say your fire was dying out, you know, you just have a bunch of embers there, you can easily put some new wood on there and use this for its intended purpose and get that fire stoked back up really quickly. Alright, so a little bit of a fail on my part in trying to get this thing back going. Obviously, just dealing with a bunch of soaking wet materials out here. In the future, when I have another situation where I can use a bellow, I'll definitely give a better example of this, so this will get a redo in the future. But the tree-free fire, it does work. I'm curious. Right now, it's probably still really hot. Let me get some sticks here. Should get that top off again. Might take a little while for that wax to, is it still hot? Let's see. It's not. Yeah, it's pretty warm. So yeah, those little bricks, they're still sticking up. So once this thing completely cools and that wax solidifies again, I can make new cuts into that and reuse it, just how you saw it. So we'll try that again in the future. And like I said, we'll give this little cheap manual bellow another shot in the future. But it does, I mean, you can see it makes plenty of air, plenty of wind. You know, these things aren't held down by sticks. Well, actually, I don't want to get in there. Let's put it like that. Right, generate some wind. So it does work in that sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, to be continued, but this is the initial testing phase. Thanks for watching, guys. Always love coming out and playing with some fire. I'll do this again in the future. Different scenario too. Going up to a trail not too long from now, maybe a week or two. And I'm definitely going to play around up in the woods, test some different stuff. Some knives, some different gear. Might be out there past sunset, so maybe some flashlights and stuff, headlamps specifically. But anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.